was basically to come in and say, look, Laurie, you've got some incredible things happening here. I don't want you to mess it up. Oh, if I hear something great, I'm going to tell you. And he did. And so it was a good balance of having someone like Lou, basically who was coming and acting as in a producer's role, essentially, saying, this is a fantastic moment in this song. This track is brilliant. This lyric is brilliant. Why would you want to change that? And the opposite might be coming from Laurie. Well, I think this, I think that. So in a sense, it was good because it moved the project forward and decisions could be made.
No second guessing. Oh, that was his rule. He said, there's no looking back. You make a decision, and you can't change your mind. I was like, really?
I don't like to produce records because it's very hard to find someone where you could stand more than one song. CDs are usually too long by a lot. I get bored very, very easily. In this particular case, I'd been following what's going on in there, and there was jewels to be had. It would have been a sin not to try to bring this Willie Loman little boat into that small harbor.
That's what happened. He came in and to the studio, and he just sat there until it was done.
Lou would come in and say something like, this sounds great. Do your vocals and cut bait. Let's get out of here.
He knows what, a magic solo take is. He knows immediately, like, when the rhythm section is locked, or he knows when the groove is on.
I was wary of his participation just because, because of the relationship, of course, but also having other musicians around when Lou Reed's around is he's Lou Reed.
I don't want to be a distraction or take attention away from where it should be. I wanted Laurie to be able to just concentrate on the music and the mixing and any overdubs, whatever, and not have to think about any of the other things. And if she wanted an opinion about some of these, say one track against another, or why isn't that background part working, or how can we blend these 19 tracks of Avon, then it's really fun to contribute to that.
He's incredibly gracious and was really helpful and often would come and focus things, not necessarily for the project in the long run for her, but for just getting a workflow where there's a lot of people involved, and we're just trying to get ideas on recorded and that sort of thing.
Having him involved, I think was really I get the sense was really nice for Laurie.
Something kind of beautiful happened between the two of them, and also because their dog Lola was there, and it was kind of this great family moment, and they were finishing the album kind of as a family. And I kind of got that sense through the last several weeks of finishing the record. It was quite beautiful, and I was happy to be there.
Yes.
I think this record is the fruition of everything from prior records and prior experiences and prior thoughts all came together in this one. She's a mature artist. And what does a mature artist have to say these days, right now, on a CD? What could it be? You're not going to write about, oh, I went to the party, got drunk, went home, and we danced at midnight. Probably not going to do that. Probably get further down the road. And with Laurie's case, with all her frames of reference, there's a lot of things she can show you.
Lyrical content is very evolved, and I think it was important to really make sure that that was available to an audience as we progressed through the production. I mean, the lyrics are wonderful on this project. Always are. I mean, obviously that's one of her great strengths. But I think they've evolved, and they're both more personal and more universal and more mature.
She's one of the great writers. Lyrics, prose. She has what amounts to symphonies that are out there. I mean, it's kind of amazing the things that she has, and a lot of it that she won't let anyone hear.
We fall like light on water, and water turns to ice. Everything keeps changing in this transitory.
In the middle of this record is a voice that I've used since 1978, when I invented it at the Nova convention for William Burroughs. It was a 3-day celebration of William Burroughs, and a lot of people were there. It was Susan Sontag was talking about how much she loved him, and Patti Smith, Phil Glass, Keith Richards was supposed to show up. I was the MC of this evening, so I was supposed to be, so I had invented this filter that was like this guy who was just a kind of pompous blowhard who was moving things along.
Like a lot of relatives, we have an uneasy relationship, I suppose. I just stepped out for a smoke, and there she was.
In this current incarnation, he's much more, I would say, melancholy. He kind of got a conscience somehow along the way. He got a name too. Lou named him Fenway Bergamot. And I thought, oh, that's scary to make an alter ego that actually has a name.
I think everybody has that sort of disturbing feeling when you have a voice going on like that.
Well, Fenway, of course, is like his kind of grown-up little nickname. Mr. I still call him Mr. Difficult Music.
It's more like your conscience. Let's say my conscience.
He's not really performing so much as kind of sharing an internal monologue.
I live in my head, mostly, and as an alter ego, it's I'm employed very randomly, let's say, and that suits me fine, because I have more time that way.
It's Laurie in another character talking about something abstract sometimes, and yet in that strange way they are almost the most personal moments on the record.
He's the narrator, the social conscience, the commentator, the one who's got his eyes open and going, you live where? You're doing what?
And I think it links the other pieces. They're different. They have different points of view. They are in different styles. And Fenway functions to link the record together through his persona.
In the show, he did two long things. In the record, he does only one.
It was mostly like edited out of the record, let's say. The shows that they were, I had a lot more to say. I was talking about candidates specifically, and characters like Rush Limbaugh, who had a major role as one of the voices of the campaign. Even though he's on the radio, he's one of the major voices. And I just love that John McCain called Rush Limbaugh a clown. I don't know if you remember that, but then when he was doing a TV interview, the interviewer said, now, don't you think you owe an apology? And McCain said, Yes, I'd like to apologize to all the clowns. Bozo, Rusty, Krusty. I've been getting letters and emails from them, and they were all very offended that I mentioned them in the same breath with a weasel like Mr. Limbaugh. So let's hear it for the clowns.
Now sometimes experts look for weapons, and sometimes they look everywhere for weapons, and sometimes they don't find any weapons. And sometimes other experts say if you haven't found any weapons, it doesn't mean that there are no weapons. And other experts looking for weapons find things like cleaning fluids and refrigerator rods and small magnets, and they say these may look like common objects to you, but in our opinion, they could be weapons.
In our homeland, there's a sort of superficial political, in sort of uppercase P political aspect to it that I think is just a framework.
At that point, of course,